So what do you think? Can you tell that I don't have any hair product in my hair? Gentlemen, today I'm gonna do something a little bit different and a little bit crazy, considering I own a company, Pete Pedro, that sells hair product. Today I'm going over 6 tricks to have amazing looking hair without actually using styling products like putty, paste, pomades, or clays. So in 2020, we saw a lot of people starting to grow their hair out a little bit more. 2021, I think you're gonna see the same thing. There are gonna be a lot of amazing styles that are a little bit more natural, as opposed to like super styled and like skin faded and all like super like locked into place. But the truth is that if you are going to grow your hair out, or you're just going to rock a style without product, there are a few things that you can do to have better looking hair. And so before we get started with these tips, guys, I need to explain how I personally style my hair. Every day after I shower, I get out, I towel dry it, and then I will use a sea salt spray, a few squirts of this in damp hair. And then I will actually apply my Pete Pedro Putty. Putty is a super high hold, low shine product. I will use about that much product, all right? It's not much. And then I will emulsify and run it through my damp hair. I comb it into place, and then I dry my hair on a warm setting. Once I'm finished, I get it into place, and then I'll take a little more putty, all right, emulsify it, and lock my hair into place. And that's how I normally style my hair, to get a lot of lift, volume, and soft, pliable hold, right? Well, the deal is, a lot of people don't want to mess around with that process. And so today, I'm going to go over a few tricks in order to have amazing, better looking hair without actually using like the pomades, the putties, the paste to lock it into place. So the first tip to have amazing looking hair without actually using a lot of hair products is to pick a style that's going to work great with no product. That includes a very short style. You could go buzz cut, you could go crew cut, you can even do like a short fringe. You can also let your hair grow. A lot of the styles that you're seeing, these dudes are letting their hair grow out. Now the truth is that if you are going to let your hair grow out and just rock it naturally looking, definitely need to be using some type of argan oil to smooth flyaways and just help your hair look a little bit better. But we'll talk a little bit about this a little bit later. The second tip, in order to have better looking hair, gentlemen, without product, is use a volumizing shampoo. The way that these shampoos work is that they are packed full of biotin and rice protein. What happens is the biotin goes in and strengthens, and the rice protein adds beautiful, like weightless volume. And so just by using a simple volumizing and thickening shampoo, your hair is going to look thicker, it's going to have more natural volume without product. If you guys have never tried like a volumizing shampoo, these things are incredible, right? It's not going to like give you like boom, like a fro or anything, but it's just amazing how it like goes in and almost like thickens the hair shaft and makes it just a lot fuller than it naturally is. This morning, what I did was actually use the volumizing shampoo, and then I actually did the third tip in order to have more volume and have better looking hair without product, and that is use a sea salt spray. Now, I know that I say like no products, but the truth is that a sea salt spray is an amazing addition to any hairstyling routine. If you don't want to use product, gentlemen, but you still want to have thicker, fuller, more luscious hair, you've got to check out and use a sea salt spray. This stuff is amazing because what it does, it goes in and gives your hair a little texture, a little life, a little volume. The only downside to using a typical sea salt spray, guys, is that it can actually dry your hair out. And so that's one of the reasons why we've infused the sea salt spray from Pete Pedro with sea kelp. It actually helps preserve and lock in the moisture in your hair. Another good idea, guys, if you are going to be using a sea salt spray, I would definitely recommend using a conditioner at least twice a week in your hair. The way that I use it, guys, after I shampoo, I get a little conditioner, put it in my hair, and then just like chill out for like 5 minutes while I wash the rest of my body, rinse it out. Using a conditioner is going to help close the hair shaft, make it silky smooth, strong, and sexy. So I'll link to all these products down below. There's also going to be a discount code if you want to go check it out. The next tip I'd like to give you is all about your haircut. Now, if you don't want to use a hairstyling product in your hair, you need to make sure you're getting a better haircut. All about texture when it comes to an amazing hairstyle that's going to help your hair look better without product, all right? One of the downsides to using like a classic barber is that they're not the best when it comes to texturizing the top. They're really great at doing like fades and things of that nature, but in terms of like actually like cutting your hair or using a razor to feather or give your hair more definition, not so much. It's all about adding texture to your hair, having different layers, different dimensions, and what's going to happen, instead of your hair just like laying flat and lifeless, by them going in and using texturizing shears or even a razor, they're going to be able to give your hair more definition without product. The difference is amazing when you actually get a proper haircut, one that is done by a professional stylist as opposed to a barber. Now, I'm not talking about like fades, right? There is nobody better in terms of fades than barbers. When it comes to adding texture and volume and life to the top, guys, you can cannot beat a good stylist. You actually get a proper haircut from a stylist that knows how to actually texturize and give your hair definition. It's like night and day versus going to a barber. Now, like I said, I got nothing against barbers. I love them. They are the best, the kings when it comes to fading. On the tops, they're typically terrible. And I shouldn't say typically, but they typically kind of are. Anyway, guys, the next tip I'd like to give you, if you are somebody that is growing your hair out a little bit and you don't want to use a lot of product, is use an argan oil, all right? A few drops of argan oil after you shower, after you towel dry, after you salt, right? Or even after your hair is dry, you can come in there and just add a little bit of argan oil. What the argan oil is going to go in and do is actually make your hair a little bit shinier, softer, and more luxurious. The other upside to using a few drops of argan oil on your hair after you get out of the shower, towel dry, and do all that good stuff is that it's going to help control flyaways and frizz, right? Sometimes if you don't use anything on your hair, it gets a little bit frizzy, it gets a little bit staticky. The argan oil is going to go in and help smooth everything down, but still add a nice, deliciously sexy shine. Did you say deliciously sexy? Yes, I did, gentlemen. The last tip I'd like to share with you, if you want better hair without product, is stop using the dryer. It is all about allowing your hair to air dry instead of actually using a hair dryer. If you are going to use a hair dryer because you're like, yo, I just got to dry it, what I recommend is actually using cold air. So when you use a hair dryer on a warm setting, what happens is your hair gets a little bit frizzy, a little bit puffy. Heat goes into the hair strand and boom, like the cuticle kind of opens up and it gets a little bit frizzy, right? But when you actually use cold air on your hair, it closes everything up and keeps it nice and sexy. It's also going to help give your hair a little more texture. When you use a hairdryer on a cold setting, it is like night and day in terms of the difference. And if you have a haircut that actually has some definition and texture, you're going to be able to see it better on the cool setting. But if you're able to allow your hair to air dry and then go in and just break it up a little bit, it's like next level. There's something about just allowing your hair to dry naturally that does amazing things in terms of its texture, volume, and density. And that's it, gentlemen. A few Pete and Pedro tips to help you have better looking hair if you don't want to actually use a styling product. I think in 2021, you're going to be seeing a lot more people that are going with a more natural, soft look. And so this is a way for you to elevate the look without actually using a ton of products. But if you are somebody that is looking for an amazing product, I'm going to link down below to the Pete and Pedro product recommendation tool, where all you got to do is tell us your hairstyle, how much hold and how much shine, and we'll make a custom Pete and Pedro recommendation for you. Now, if I were going to recommend a hairstyling product, I would definitely go with the Pete and Pedro Putty. This is our #1 bestseller. Works amazing with pretty much any hair, any hairstyle, guys. This stuff is incredible. I'm going to link to everything down below along with the discount code. Until next time, gentlemen, enjoy your flowing, luscious locks of bueno amazingness.